Grizzled veterans would like to begin this show on a solemn note by acknowledging the tragedy that happened in Colorado this past day in regards to the Batman opening. People suck in this world. There's really nowhere else to say it. And our thoughts go out to them.
I know you feel this.
Welcome to Grizzled Veterans, episode 6, the most seasoned entertainment podcast on the internet. I am one of your hosts, Jason Rose. With me today is
Mr. Donovan Oziak.
And we got a ton to talk about. We're back on a regular schedule.
Trying to be anyway.
Trying to be. Couple weeks.
It's only been 2 weeks, I think.
We're bi-weekly.
Or tri-weekly.
Tri-weekly.
However it works out.
Trimester.
Yes.
Bisexual.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway. A lot happened to me personally recently.
Yeah, you did the big EVO trip.
I did it. I said I was going to do it, even though I wasn't committed last time I talked about it. I took the plunge, made the expense,
That's awesome,
reached out, forced my way in, like a baby coming into this world. I took no for an answer.
Awesome.
I was the sperm that met the egg.
We are actually going to save the EVO talk for a little bit later in the episode, but we did want to mention that right off the bat. What we think we're going to do here is get into some rumors.
Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going on in games, some exciting stuff, but rumors, there's a lot of stuff in games. Summer's hit.
Well,
gaming can have a little bit of a lull, but it's good to have a note that both Microsoft and Sony are acknowledging the lull with some indie games of sort and some great deals on their prospective stores. What do we got on the Summer of XBLA stars? I don't know too much about this whole Xbox thing. It's at the tail end of his life for me. I don't need to pick this shit up.
Well,
so what's got going? I know there's some good games out there.
There are some good games coming. I'll be honest, most of the time when these big summer sales come on an Xbox, there's only usually maybe 2 out of the 5 games that are really...
Sure, they throw some stuff in there that... Well, I bet you they're pretty good games.
I think what they try to do is they basically try to cover...
Like, give me some examples. Everything.
Well,
sure, they want to cover genres.
I know that they got that game Dust coming. I think it's 514.
No, that's a Sony exclusive, is it not?
Okay, but they got another game coming out on Xbox Live called Dust something.
Okay.
And it's an Elysian adventure or something like this. It's actually a fantasy.
I think this is a different game than Dust 514. Yeah.
It just has a...
We sound completely uninformed here, but go ahead. Sorry.
But for the first time ever.
Yeah. Right.
But the one that actually stands up for me is Deadlight, which is the side-scrolling...
Torchlight or Deadlight?
It's Deadlight. Torchlight is a Diablo kind of clone.
Oh, yes. But a lot of people like Torchlight.
And from what I've gathered, it's good, and they've got a sequel coming out for that pretty soon, too. But this Deadlight game is a side-scrolling zombie action game.
Okay.
And I've only seen a couple of trailers so far for it, but it definitely has style. It's got a very gritty look to it, which of course is appropriate for a zombie-themed game. I mean, even though, I may have mentioned this before, I'm getting a little zombied out myself.
I would agree with you. Everything's zombies these days.
Yeah.
Walking Dead is so popular, I don't know why, but just is.
Well, I watched the first season and it was good.
First season was decent, second season sucked my ballsack. Pure and simple.
Okay, I haven't watched it yet. So
it's awful. The character development, everyone's like, oh, they're building characters. What fucking characters? None of them have redeeming qualities. The chicks are stupid. They wipe out all the time. There's no development. The best character... Oh, I can't...
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, man. Like, this is so old. I gotta be able to spoil it.
Go ahead.
Well, the only redeeming character is... What's his name? The main guy's
from the first
buddy.
Season?
Well, the main guy's buddy, his cop buddy, who's fucking his wife.
Right.
That guy. He's the only character that shows growth. Okay, and he ends up becoming a zombie, and they have to kill him. But he's the only good character. And the fucking show, like, the old man sucks. He's trying to be all like resolute and teach all these morals. There's fucking zombies that want to eat your dick down the road, and you're talking about no guns and don't do this shit. Oh yeah, like, and he's giving more arguments to the girl because she wants to have some sex with somebody. Are you serious? This is an apocalyptic world. You gotta have some sex. You could die tomorrow. Fuck whoever you want.
Exactly.
Fuck the deer. I don't know. And then kill it and eat it. I don't know. Do something.
Yeah, I had planned on watching it at some point.
It sucks, and they spend the entire fucking season at one goddamn place. Like, the entire thing with this church-going guy, and you just want to punch him in the face. Like, you do. There's a couple decent things that happen, but Walking Dead sucks. But let's get back to the games. No, but I won't say it sucks because people who know the comics say season 3 is going to be awesome.
Okay, cool.
One good thing on a video game note, The Walking Dead from Telltale, the 5-part series, a point-and-click adventure from on the PS3, exclusive to PS3, is phenomenal.
Yeah?
It is phenomenal.
I haven't checked it out.
Branching past, great dialogue, it's not bogged down by the current Walking Dead universe.
Okay.
It's completely different.
Yeah,
different characters, but I know there's feed in as well. It's only episode 2 was just released.
Right, I did see that.
And the thing is, depending on what you did on episode 1, 2 starts different. Different characters look at you different. Okay. I had a good conversation with some of the guys at IGN about it. We'll get to that later, but it's really, really good. It's good.
Okay.
Go back to the XBLA stuff. Sorry, I sort of deroaded you there.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I don't know how much depth I can get into on it, unfortunately, because...
Wait, you didn't buy it?
Well, the Xbox Live... Well, it's not out yet. Deadlight's not out yet.
Oh, no? Okay, so what's out right now?
Which one did they bring out first? Oh, I suck.
Are they changing a game every few weeks or every week or what? Is that the way it goes?
I think basically they're doing one a week for the next 5 weeks. I think there's 5 games coming.
I think that's a pretty cool idea.
Yep. I think Deadlight might be next week or the week after. So, and that's, like I said, the one that I'm kind of the most interested in.
So, again, I think I missed it. I tuned out for a second. What genre is it?
It's like a side-scrolling action kind of... It
reminds me side-scrolling?
Yeah, as far as I can tell. It reminds me a little bit of Shadow Complex, which I know you didn't get a chance
I know,
to play,
and that's one game like anybody that doesn't have a Xbox was robbed. Everyone still to this day, anyone that's familiar with XBLA, that's like one of their gems in their belt.
Absolutely.
Yeah, everyone says that game is a 9, period, across the board.
Yep.
Critics say it's a 9. I don't know too much about it, but I know it's a game I'd love to play.
It's very Metroid in that...
Metroidvania style.
Yeah.
But it does new things well as well.
Absolutely.
So
it's a really good game.
Maybe someday it'll come.
So this game has a sort of basically because it's a side scroller with nice, pretty graphics.
Yeah.
Again, I've only seen a couple trailers, but it definitely has atmosphere.
Will you buy it?
I think I'm going to.
How much is it going to be?
Probably 800 points.
I don't know what the fuck that means. What does that mean? $10.
It's either going to be $10 or
I don't
15.
know what these Microsoft points mean.
800 points is $10. Actually, it's
why don't
funny.
you just say $10?
They're going to be changing it, I guess, soon.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah, they're going to go to a dollar system on Xbox now, I think.
Listeners, that's stupid. I don't care if you don't agree with me. It's stupid.
I'm ready for it.
I'm going to get... It's stupid.
Intense.
Intensity.
But yeah, I mean, most of the games on the list are probably not going to get purchased by moi.
Is there anything you're looking forward to on XBLA?
As far as the DL, like downloadable
I don't know, anything that's anything
exclusive
or that's been featured recently. Because I look at, as a primarily Sony gamer right now, I have to pay attention to everything, obviously, but Sony, I mean, there's things I'm about to talk about a game that I was looking forward to for quite a while.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you've been paying attention to?
Not downloadable. The stuff that's coming out soon that I'm the most interested in is probably next month Transformers War for Cybertron.
I admit that looks pretty cool.
Or Fall,
that's multi,
Fall
right?
Cybertron, rather. And then in September I've already prepaid my Dead or Alive, so I'll be playing that.
You need to get good at the fighting games that you have before you get in Dead or Alive, but...
Hey, you know what? Dead or Alive's...
looks good. I'm not gonna lie. It looks good.
I play it less for competitive reasons and more just because
for titties.
It's fun. It's a fun game.
You play it for titties.
Well, there's that.
Donovan's pervert.
A little bit. I've always enjoyed the mechanics of the game too, but it definitely has...
Admit to the listeners right now.
Booty.
And why do you love the booty in the video games?
I'll say this much.
Spiral arrow!
Cammy.
They finally learned how to do an ass. Team Ninja finally knew how to...
Team Ninja, yeah, I guess, but
Cammy.
That ass.
That ass.
Come on.
For sure. Like, Cammy is the originator of video game ads.
I think just
like Mai Shiranui from King of Fighters. People are going to kill me here. Is it Fatal Fury? No, it's Fatal Fury. King of Fighters was the amalgamation of Art of Fighting,
right.
Fatal Fury, all this other stuff. But Mai Shiranui is the originator of video game titties.
Okay, yeah. Well,
the bouncy titties in, Neo Geo.
Well, her and Chun-Li, right?
Nah, but Chun-Li was legs. Okay. She wasn't titties. She was legs.
All right.
Like, those legs, those are meat hooks. Like, those things, like, they'll choke you out, they'll wrap around you. Those are good things to have.
But yeah,
I respect that, but the titties are Mai Shiranui. That ass from Cammy.
Yeah.
It's the pose, and it always has been.
Yeah. It's trademark.
It's great how they all come from video fighting games, though.
Yeah. Fighting games have
fighting
the best
games,
women.
It's a great way to exploit and worship the female body.
Well, what did I tell you? What did I tell you? We used to call Dead or Alive Panty Fighter.
Well, I never called it. You did.
Well, some of me and my friends used to call it Panty.
Cool. So before we get called creeps by everyone listening, I'll roll into the Sony side. A game that I've been looking forward for a while is Dyad. That just came out this week on Tuesday. $14.99, I believe.
Looks
the price
fantastic.
is $11.99 for us PS Plus users. And if you are a Sony PS3 haver or player or whatever, and you don't have PS Plus, what the fuck are you waiting for? This shit has so many deals, so many free games. You're crazy not to have it right now. Man, last month I got 10 free games.
So did I.
And these are AAA. Yeah, you got it because you're with me. But these are AAA quality games.
Yeah.
PS Plus, if you don't have it, it's well worth the money.
Yeah.
People want to argue you lose the stuff when you don't have PS Plus anymore, but why would you get rid of PS Plus?
Yeah.
There's no reason they'll do something when the PS3 is done, but whatever. Yeah. But Dyad is a funkadelic drug fuckfest of, I don't know how
I watched the review the other day
the
on
eyes.
controllers. It looks really cool.
You know what it reminds me of?
Well, it's a lot like Rez.
Yes, Rez, but I'm gonna go back even like deeper. Like, I'm gonna blow your mind on some real shit right now.
Gyrus?
Like, no, this is like every 9th level on Space Harrier. If you ever played, this is an old Sega Master.
Like
Sega
Tempest.
Master.
Tempest was brought up.
Well, Tempest, yeah, around the same time. Tempest was a PC game.
Tempest was an old arcade game.
Arcade game, but Atari, yes.
And Gyrus,
yes.
where you would like go around the outside.
But I remember, like, Space Harrier was the original one of the original shooters to me, and every 9th level was this super fast psychedelic shit fest that just mind fucked you. And like, it was like the glowing lights. It's Dyad, and you're just going around, crazy shit's flying at you. That's what it reminds me of. The game looks awesome. It's gaming to me. That's the way gaming should be.
Well,
it's per shooter. Things evolve. The goals evolve. I highly recommend you buy
Apparently,
it.
it's a very skill-oriented
It's getting
game.
9s out of 10s everywhere.
Yeah, it's
and this is a $14 game.
Yeah.
How do you beat it?
And cool music. A lot of great music.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Since we're talking about music now, Sound Shapes.
Yeah, I don't have a ton of experience.
I'm all over this game.
Are you?
I'm all over.
For what, though?
Especially now that they're saying that it's going to be downloadable from the PlayStation Network. So it's not just a Vita game anymore. Now it's going to be...
I think it was... Oh, no, you're right, because it was originally a Vita. See, and this is the problem with the Vita. I don't want to get... This is another topic.
Yeah, we don't want to... Let's not get into that. I want to talk about
Sound Shapes. Sound Shapes should have been a Vita exclusive. I don't give a shit. It gives people a reason. Now, it's awesome that you get to play it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But Sony needs to learn a lesson here. Certain games need to stay where they should stay.
Yep.
PlayStation All-Stars should stay on the PlayStation 3. There's no fucking reason it should be on the Vita when the screen is an 1/8 to the size and you have 4 characters.
Yeah.
Supposedly they're adding one-on-one battles. I still don't care.
Yeah.
It's not a game that's made for the Vita.
For that, I completely agree with you.
Concentrate on original experiences that translate well to the portable gaming device. Let the PS3 do what it does. Let the Vita do what it does well, because the Vita does a lot of things well, but they just don't know how to capitalize, and I don't understand. These are people who get paid 6-figure salaries that do not have a grasp on something that just came out. It's embarrassing. It really is embarrassing.
Yeah, the Vita, I mean...
is a piece of technology to be worshipped. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, that's the thing
It
about
has every bell and whistle you could want. It looks phenomenal. It feels good.
It's being bent over.
And it's getting fucked by the company that released it. It's got no games. They are still releasing PSP games.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They're not even cross. It's not like when the PS3 came out, they released it for PS2 and PS3.
Would you say that, like, maybe instead of having these PS3 games that are on the Vita, would it not make more sense to have PSP games that are on the Vita?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if that's the way you want to do it to sustain both,
yeah.
You have the superior version on the Vita. I understand the PSP has a big fan base. There's 70 million people.
What?
70 million units, I believe, were sold of the PSP.
Seriously?
Worldwide, yes. It's a huge system seller.
Okay.
Like, everyone wants to point to the PSP like it wasn't some success because the DS sold 100 million or whatever the fuck it was. PSP worldwide has sold close to 70 million. Please don't crucify me if that's not the exact figure, but I know it's close.
Yeah.
It's a big installed base. That's a lot of games to sell to a lot of fucking people.
How many people are
and
playing
the PSP,
games on their PSP, though?
I'm just telling you right now, when I went on my trip in Vegas, I brought my PSP with me. Mm-hmm. Don't have PS Vita. I have a lot of games I still haven't played for it, and it still looks good.
Yeah. I won't argue with that.
But this is another show. The Vita needs a lot of help, and it needs help from the people that are in charge. The strategy is plain and clear. All Stars should not be on the Vita. It should be PS3 game.
I
Sound
totally
Sheets should not be on the PS3. It should be on the Vita.
Well,
it's a Vita game.
I agree with you, but I'm very happy that I'm going to get to play this game without having to buy a Vita.
Like, they concentrate, and they blur the lines too much. That's the problem with the Vita. Why play these games on the Vita when you can play them on the PS3? Why play them? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, there's some of the functionality is kind of neat where you can, like, continue where you left off and that.
Great, but where do people mostly play portable systems? At home.
Yeah.
If you're at home, you're going to play your PS3.
Right.
Anyway, enough of that. Dyad's awesome. Play it, buy it, enjoy it.
And Sound Shapes coming
Get
soon.
mind fucked!
Yeah, and Sound Shapes actually a lot of the same kind of things going on there.
I respect that a lot. I think it's a genre that I don't pay enough attention to, or a game that I haven't paid enough attention to.
Yeah.
But when does that come out? Is that next month? 2 months from now?
I don't remember the exact date. It's
this year. I know.
It's definitely this year. I think it's fallish, but don't quote me. It's soon, and it looks really cool. I know that Beck is gonna have
they scored
3 new songs on there, and yeah, I'm a big.
He's still
Beck
around.
fan.
He's relevant.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Beck is to me going to be one of the artists from the '90s that actually becomes relatively timeless. I think.
Yeah.
One of the few.
Oh, what's that media pass? Oh, we'll get to you soon.
Oh shit.
I guess on to other big news stuff that we've talked about before. The rumor today, it just broke today, that Final Fantasy 13 Versus 13 was canceled.
Yeah, I hadn't actually read that. You told me that.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of... I think we've...
Makes a lot of sense. Listen, it's been 6 years.
But canceled? Or is it going to become 15?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, this is just a rumor, by the way. Kotaku picked it up and the other major sites. Honestly, though, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And anyone that actually thought it was still coming out was being a little naive. 6 years is unbelievably long in the video game. That's an entire life cycle of a console.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think about it. That's the PS3 life cycle.
Well, they should have released 2 games in this time.
Well, think about it. Colin Moriarty from IGN puts it pretty clear. The entire Uncharted series has come out in the time since Versus 13 has been announced. Likewise with The Last Guardian.
Oh yeah, The Last Guardian.
Which, and that's the next one. Now, I mean, where the speculation, everyone still says it's in development, but
really,
where are we seeing anything? We haven't seen. We've seen less from The Last Guardian than we have from Versus.
So what happens to a game like that comes so far along?
Are we talking about Versus? Yeah, let's leave Last Guardian alone. But in terms of our Final Fantasy, our beloved Final Fantasy name,
yes,
stuff that cherished and handheld me, taught me fucking life lessons. The music stays with me, but I honestly, it makes a lot of sense to me as a Square fan. I don't know where Square's at these days, but it makes a lot of sense to not make it Versus 13 and make it Final Fantasy 15.
And I think we've already actually mentioned that on the podcast.
We have.
Yeah,
and I
totally agree with you.
It makes more sense. The Final Fantasy name alone sells. The 13 name holds a stigma. Now, a lot of people...
Versus 13 just makes things confusing.
It does. It makes it very confusing to the fan base. Now, do they attach it to 13? What does this have? I didn't play 13. Do I need to play 13? Do I need to play its sequel to understand what Versus is? It's too much to go
lightning,
on.
Blah,
exactly.
blah.
Like what this is... Versus 13 looks nothing like what the...
Well, and again, I think from what I know... the only reason it's called Versus 13 was because the team split early in development, and this group wanted to make this kind of game, and the other group wanted to make the other kind of game, and it became Versus 13 because they were against the original 13.
Well, I think they wanted to make a franchise. I mean, there was Final Fantasy Type 0 to capitalize on Nova Crystallis world, whatever the fuck that means. I don't really know, but I think it was like a revitalization of the crystal theme that they had from all the other Final Fantasy, which is cool because they've been prevalent in a lot of them, but I didn't have too much to do with 13. I mean, other than them turning into crystal at the end and some other things, but whatever.
Well, 13 too, I guess they tried a little harder with that, with everything was crystal related.
More, yeah, it was. It was, the fragments and whatnot.
Yeah.
Did we talk about that? We talked about it in the last podcast, how I platinumed it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we did talk about that.
Yeah, we both platinumed.
And like I said, any naysayers, I did not enjoy 13. The vanilla 13. 13-2 is a better game.
Yeah.
And the soundtrack to it is, what should I say, is a worthy addition to the Final Fantasy world. Final Fantasy is known for its soundtracks, right, Donovan?
And then this one, it is very different.
It is very, very good.
It's excellent. I'm so glad that I actually got the collector's edition because it comes with the 4 CD soundtrack.
It's worth it. And when you told
totally
me, I was jaded on the game, but when you told me that you'll be surprised the music's very good, you weren't kidding. I had a conversation on my IGN with Pierre Schneider, their vice president there, and I was talking about gaming music, how it used to be so much better in the Final Fantasy series. Theatrhythm was the one that brought it to light.
Yeah.
Which I think is a really cool addition, but it should be on more platforms. But
it looks cool. It
should be elsewhere. Yeah. It should be on Sony's shit. That's where Final Fantasy gained a lot of notoriety.
Mr. Rose has had a couple of drinks tonight.
I always have drinks. I like drinking. Don't shoot me. But Final Fantasy 13-2 had an excellent soundtrack. I'm not going to sing for you guys. It'd be rather embarrassing. But there was a lot of times, and I hadn't done this in a long time. A lot of times I stopped playing the game to listen to the soundtrack.
That's cool.
Oerba, Fang, and Vanille's homeworld.
Yeah.
Their theme of that world in there was excellent. Yep. It was haunting. It was relevant. I loved it. There was a lot of good music there, and I'm very surprised I enjoyed the game as much as I did. I was pleasantly surprised.
And I'm really pleased that you enjoyed it as much as you did too, because I know you went into it with a bit of jadedness, and that's understandable. Yeah. But one of the tracks that I've mentioned this before, but one of the tracks I really enjoyed was the Wild Chocobo theme.
You like the
because it comes out of nowhere.
It does. It's pretty hard hitting.
And the first time I heard it,
fucking eat your Grizzled greens and stuff. Yeah. You're like, bastard. But the theme worked. But I like how if you unlock certain fragments, you were able to switch the themes as you want. But which also leads into the other thing, the announcement coming up from Square before we move on of a possible 13-3.
Yes. Well, they're going to do this big art exhibit on September 1st. And apparently big news coming out about 13-2, which
Lightning was mentioned.
Yeah, they're calling it the Lightning Saga. I can't remember the quote from Twitter exactly.
And we can agree on that. She is the most important and interesting character in the 13
Certainly
saga.
The coolest
I think
character.
She's a very strong character.
Yeah.
I like her.
She'll stand out and like, really.
She looks good.
Yeah, she's a very well-designed character and not just from a visual perspective, but like her personality.
I think
too.
She's also a strong representation of a female character as well. No, she does look good, mind you, but there's no real sexuality about her.
No.
Which I respect, because you don't need to. She looks good, but you know what? That's not what it's about.
No. She never flaunts her sexuality.
No, there's nothing. She's a warrior, true and blue.
Yeah.
And I think that has a lot to do with her. I think they did a really good job on her design of her costume and the stuff she wears. Although in 13-2 with the armor, she shows a little hip and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. But her voice more so. Her voice is very raspy, but it commands respect.
Yeah.
But it's also female in
It
nature.
gives you that sense of a battle-worn...
Yeah, it does.
You know?
It's very suiting, and it's not like you're looking at her as an object in a female, because that's not outlandish to speak. As Final Fantasy games, or any games, gain more and more realism, female characters to male characters look more and more real.
Absolutely. And it's funny because, like, you look at, say, like, the 3 main female characters from 13, and Lightning is the least sexualized of the 3.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know, the other ones are cutesy.
Yeah.
On the Japanese pros and emoticon things.
Yeah.
But it's a little annoying, and then whatever. But what do you feel about 13.3?
13, you know, honestly...
It's going to happen. All right. What's your percentage out of 100 that is going to happen?
80.
Okay. I'm about 85. Yeah. And how do you feel about that?
It's either that or they're going to throw some new DLC of some type. But I actually am more likely to believe that it's actually a full game. I'm actually fine with that.
Okay.
Because 13.2 was a good game. And I think if they continue on
if they focus on Lightning, people will be more accepting. Because people accept Lightning. But Sarah and Noel were a bit of a stretch, and people didn't really want to latch onto it.
Yeah. It did... Not being able to customize... Basically, you're stuck with those 2 guys all through it. They're still great characters.
And I have to admit, and I know I've said this before, but I think I enjoyed the game as much as I did because I waited long enough where I could recruit the Lightnings.
Right.
And use them.
And you played with them through the whole game.
I did, because why the fuck else am I using anything? I mean, they're awesome.
Yeah.
They look good. They seem more relevant. I don't want to raise monsters. So if I was playing 13.2 at the beginning, I might not have enjoyed it as much.
You might not have. I actually envy the fact that you were able to play through the entire game with the Lightning.
I'm glad I waited, personally. It was good. But in terms of me, how do I feel about it? I guess I'll welcome a 13.3 if Final Fantasy 15 is announced alongside it. I want to see progress as well as a finishing note on this.
Yeah.
13.2 was very open-ended, and I think it gets shit on a lot because of 13. It's actually a decent game. Platinumed it, so it's not that bad.
No.
And you platinumed it as well. Your first platinum.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see it, but only if you're showing progress in the series. The Final Fantasy series is stagnant. Show me some progress with the name. Let's move forward.
Yep.
Let's let fans move forward. Forget the bad taste that this generation has given the Final Fantasy name.
How would you feel about them bringing back a turn-based battle system?
I have no problem with it, but I don't know if people would be accepting of it. There's ways to do a turn-based system with and able to modernize it as well.
Yeah.
I don't think the 13 system is the way to go. Mashing X is not acceptable to me. There is slight strategies you can do, but truthfully, you can get through the game by mashing X.
You can't do everything in the game by mashing
Some
X.
of the bosses are can be difficult, but you can get there, and with slight tweaking on the bosses, as long as you filled out your powers and Crystarium and leveled up, you have no problems.
No, if you grind, then yeah. But I mean, I think if you play the game sort of quotes here the way it was intended
on the corridor or whatever,
then you know it by doing it that way is going to allow you to enjoy more of the game, but in a sense, you know what I'm saying?
Let's just agree that we want Final Fantasy to return to form, and let's move forward. Yeah. Let's show some progress, guys. We want Final Fantasy. No one wants to hate Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy is one of the top 3 game
one of the most beloved franchises in all of gaming.
Hundreds of millions of people love this shit. Give us a reason to love it again.
Yep. Because really, we don't.
That's it.
We're not getting.
Where's the 10 remake? They said that's stalling. Where's the 6 remake? They've remade 4 million times. Now there's a lot of reasons for that. I don't want to get into it, but 6 remake that. It'll sell oodles.
You know what I want? I want a new Phantasy Star game that's not...
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Again, we could fill an entire podcast. I hate Phantasy Star.
We have one more rumor we want to discuss before we move on.
What's that?
The Batman.
Oh, yeah. You take it away.
Okay, so this is actually a rumor
Batman!
Anyway, so this rumor's been floating around for a couple of weeks now that Rocksteady's next Batman game is actually going to be based in the Silver Age.
Prequel.
And
it's going to base around the Batman
and his first encounter with the Joker. You know what this feels like to me?
And the meeting of the Justice League.
Yeah, this feels to me like, oh shit, we killed the Joker. We have to make a prequel now so we can have the Joker again. You know what? You don't need to have the Joker again. You've established such a good, strong universe with this series so far. And I feel like by going into the Silver Age, you're going to take Batman into the era when he wasn't as cool as he is now.
I completely agree. I don't like it. I think the Rocksteady has carved out a universe of itself that is gritty, that's realistic, that plays off the Nolan movies extremely well. By going to the Silver Age of gee golly gosh and tights and shit, I'm sure it won't be like that, but that is what personifies it.
And again, I know
I don't need to see the Joker again, Donovan.
No, I have every faith in Rocksteady that
I do,
that they would make a good game regardless. It would play good, but please don't do it. Just don't.
They're gonna do it though. I mean, that's the rumors don't come out. The rumors aren't made just because.
Well, sometimes I wonder if some of these rumors come out just to see what kind of reaction.
To gauge a reaction, you're right. That's PR's hand, but Rocksteady is. Look, those have received commercial and critical acclaim.
Yeah.
The Arkham Asylum and Arkham City are excellent games. They have made probably the best comic games, if not some of the best games I've ever played.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. I have no
no
shame in saying that, and it's not about what's new is fresh. And I had so much fun and with those games. I thought Arkham City was my 2011 game of the year.
Yeah, I've played through Arkham Asylum 3 times.
Yeah, it's that good. They make Batman feel real, but this. I don't need to see the Joker again. No. Let's move forward. Let's not move back. Batman has a huge base. There's a lot of things to do. Robin looks cool. Let's use him. Nightwing is there. That looks cool. Build some story. They can do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
they've still got things they left.
I know what they want to do though, but this is DC tie-in. This is I want to make a Justice League movie. I want to bring it to the forefront.
More Warner Brothers than Rocksteady.
It is. It's completely.
At least that's what I want to think it is.
And it kind of pisses me off. But you know what? I'll hold judgment because Rocksteady hasn't made a bad game.
No.
So.
But are they not? Like I had heard that they were going to make a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game next.
Fuck, I'd love it. But I mean, as long as it's not derivative of the Michael Bay.
No. As far as I heard, it was going to be like comic book.
Cool, but
like
we'll see it. We'll see when it comes, but this whole Silver Age thing and whatever not, I don't know, make that separate, but the Batman games as such, let's keep it contained.
Yeah. We'll
see. I think it'll happen, and I don't know if I'll like it, but we'll see.
And on that note, go see The Dark Knight Rises.
Hans Zimmer.
I'm Batman.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, before we get into the meat of our topic, which is going to be Evo.
Yeah. Why don't we just take a couple minutes to ask you, what are you playing?
Well, yeah, what are you guys playing right now? Me, Donovan, you take it away.
Well, actually, I had to take a break from Mass Effect for a little while. I felt like...
well, you went through the entire series again.
Well, I'm right at the end of 2 now with my Renegade character. And just have a couple of little side missions left to do, like Overlord and stuff. But I needed to take a little break. So, after...
The Mass Effect side missions and the DLC are awesome.
Yep. I did. I went through Lollipop Chainsaw. I mentioned that last podcast.
You finished it?
Beat it. It was fun.
How many hours?
It's not a long
6,
game.
7?
7 or 8 hours, maybe. Yeah.
Would you go through it again?
It was fun enough that I would actually play through it again, but I actually traded it in already.
Oh, okay. So there you go. I mean,
it was fun, and I don't regret playing it by any means.
Okay.
But what I'm playing now is Ninja Gaiden Black. I
respect that. I respect that wholeheartedly.
It is
my friends. That's a true gamer. This is an action game through and through that is hard as fuck.
This to me is the penultimate action game.
That's a good word.
I don't even know.
I think you just made it up.
I didn't.
Penultimate? Yeah. I think you said whatever. You know what? Pinnacle. It's like a mixture of Pinnacle and Ultimate.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know if there's a better action game out there. And I know...
No, but I'm not arguing with you. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right there. It's hard for me to pick one.
It's one of the absolute best
games
ever made.
It's that good.
It is that good.
The only thing that holds me back is... I mean, people are... Does story matter? I don't know. But to me, story does matter. The story's so absurd.
Okay.
But the gameplay...
Is pure action.
It looks good. It feels good to play.
You know what? This is a good comparison. Playing Ninja Gaiden is like when you watch a Sylvester Stallone movie.
What?
You watch a Sylvester Stallone
I
movie
don't
purely
understand.
for adrenaline. You don't watch it for entertainment. You watch it for, like, you want to see blood and guns and all that stuff. You play Ninja Gaiden, and it's all pure adrenaline and action and... Well, I guess the reason I made that metaphor is because I watched Rambo this week.
Rambo. Okay.
So you may not get it, but that's my metaphor.
Pure adrenaline. Action. You're talking about like 90s, 80s action.
That's
movies.
exactly.
Okay.
That's what I mean. And to me, this game.
Like boner-inducing action from Sylvester Stallone.
There's been times I don't.
You've got a boner from watching Rambo.
I've played through Ninja Gaiden 3 times.
And got a boner.
I get a boner.
Sweet.
But I mean, this game is hard.
It's not easy.
It is not easy. And I know what I'm doing in this game because I've played through it before. But I'm still getting to certain areas where it's like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna reset. Yeah, you know I'm gonna reset.
Reset. Now that's an old. Now that's a Grizzled veteran term.
Yeah.
If there's ever a Grizzled veteran term, saying reset is one of them.
Well, you can actually do a hard reset or a soft reset.
But like, I don't even think gamers today know what the fuck reset is. If you've been gaming this generation, you have no idea what reset is.
Yeah.
What's reset? It's let's get back to the home screen.
Yes.
There's no reset. There's no Sega or there's nothing like that.
Yeah.
Reset doesn't happen.
This game is merciless.
You motherfuckers don't even know about reset. We just blew your shit
Off the roof
off the roof.
with Mega Man.
All right.
Because he's on the roof.
He is on the roof. And we're not raising it.
No.
We're not raising it.
But
What
yeah.
am I playing? I didn't stop Mass Effect. On terms of the thing, the new Mass Effect 3 Earth DLC just dropped, and if anyone, I'm fucking it. I'm so addicted to the Mass Effect 3 DLC.
You really are. You really are.
I take pride in. I'm really good at it. I solo gold. I've cleared platinum multiple times. I'm working on maxing out my manifest and my loadout for all the ultra rares. I have all the new characters maxed. I have.
Holy crap. Like, it just came out this week.
Oh, first day I saved up $5 million.
So you could just buy everything.
Not joking. No, I'll be serious. Like I have a team I play with.
Yeah.
Full time.
Yeah.
Almost every night when I can, if not every other night, whatever. Guys that are really good players. We have a lot of fun. We talk. We run speed runs.
Yep.
Space Ninjas, man. You can't hate on that shit.
No.
Like, if you play Mass Effect 3, you can play Kai Lang.
Yeah.
Kai Lang, the space, you have a sword, you cut through shit. It's so awesome.
Yeah, when I watched the reveal trailer for it, I was like, oh, okay, this looks pretty cool.
But I got it. There's a lot of criticism. Me, I play a lot, so I get everything. But the learning or the entrance curve, I'll say, for new players, like, people see this shit, they come into the game, they're like, I want to play that. The way the store system is set up sucks balls. It's so hard to get shit.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
I still don't have that much myself.
This is what I say. With the original downloadable content, which was called Rebellion, where they introduced new characters for every class, new weapon. They always introduced 3 weapons and a couple more maps. They gave a free pack with that one. Now, in that free pack would be one of the new characters.
Right.
It allows you. It gives you something.
Right.
You may not get the rest of them because you don't play serious for a while, but at least you have one to try. That's a taste. They haven't done that for the last 2, and that fucking sucks for a lot of people that don't. I know a lot of people who want to play that game, who have tried to play. They're like, I see all this shit in the trailers, and I really like Mass Effect, but everyone who plays this game is so far ahead of me, and I can't get the money to buy shit. And even when I do buy shit, it doesn't give me any of the stuff that I want. So why the fuck am I gonna keep playing?
See, that's where I am.
I know, and it's if anyone from fucking BioWare listens to this, you're a Canadian company. Listen to Grizzled Veterans. Shut up. But you're in Montreal. We're in Ontario. Listen, but you guys need to learn something. More people. Your game. I know you're making money hand over fist on the system. With the way the random generated system is, you buy packs give you cards, you unlock shit. It's completely random.
Yeah.
Through that, people use real money. I'm not gonna lie, I've used real money myself to try to get ahead of the curve.
I've avoided that.
Cool. I respect that, but I like the game a lot, so I've invested.
Yeah.
But it's not fair to a lot of people, and it kills the gaming.
Well, because
I guarantee you'd have 10,000 more players if you allowed them to experience multiplayer easier.
Yeah, because I'm in that boat that you just described.
And I know you want to experience it, but you're not on the gold level yet.
No. I've done some silver, but I actually struggle a bit in silver.
Cool, but I mean, I did it first too. It's all a learning curve.
Yep.
Like everyone thinks silver is the normal difficulty. It's not. Bronze is the normal difficulty. Silver is hard and above.
Yeah. Bronze is not easy.
If you want to be better
normal.
at Mass Effect or cover-based shooters, period, play the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. You'll get better.
Yeah.
I know I'm better.
Well, I'm actually probably going to get this guy to unlock some stuff on my game.
Yeah. I'm good at gaming. But yeah, I'm playing that a lot. I really enjoy it. They added 6 new classes. Space Ninja's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Other than that, I've gone. I find this is old, but I've started playing the new, not new, but the HD remakes of the Resident Evil saga.
Okay.
I'm on almost at the end of Code Veronica. Game is not very good, but it's not as good as it was. It's not. It's not cohesive.
I got to the second half of the game and I need to pick it up again.
That's where I am again. I'm trying to get a few to try. I want to finish it. I'm going to move to 4. I'll finish that. But that's about it. I'm going to get Dyad and I'm going to play that.
I still have to go through the Metal Gear HD.
You're crazy. It's so good.
I still have to go through The Witcher. I haven't finished The Witcher.
So let's get on to topic of the week.
All right.
Topic of the tri-week, the bi-week, whatever. And that's, let's do a recap of EVO. Something that's near and dear to our hearts. And something that I attended.
Yeah.
I was very blessed. I'm wearing my media pass right now to bug Donovan.
Yeah, he's really flaunting this media pass, and I got to admit, pretty jealous. I got to watch the streaming of most of the event.
Jealousy is a female trait, Donovan.
Yeah. Envy, then?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, for anybody who's unfamiliar, EVO is the world's biggest fighting game tournament that takes place in Las Vegas every year. It's getting bigger and better every year.
This is the biggest ever.
This is the biggest and
which
best
is bigger
one.
than last year's, which was the biggest ever.
Yeah, and for anybody that doesn't know, this is a collection of some of the most passionate, skilled gamers in the world. And it's a different experience than watching or like, say you've got like some of these other esports like StarCraft.
Competitive gaming,
and
MLG, StarCraft.
The thing about EVO
Dota
is
League of Legends.
You've got these two people head to head, sitting next to each other. They're not in cubicles. They're not like across the room. They're right there, and it's all them.
And this is immediate.
Yeah.
It's not building up an army facing in 10 minutes. This is now. This is happening.
It's instinct. It's reaction. It's like anybody that plays a little bit of fighting games. You have to practice and practice and practice to get better. Like some people play first-person shooters, they got good natural aim and good instincts and that kind of thing. That necessarily isn't going to translate over to a fighting game.
No, it doesn't, because although you do have learning of your opponents in first-person shooters, it's more about knowing maps, knowing spawns, knowing about weapon spawns.
Yep.
Those are the things that make you better. Instincts, I'm not saying you don't need skill to play those games.
Sure, you do, but...
Fighting games, the ceiling is infinite. Your opponents are ever changing.
Yep.
The characters are ever changing. No two people play the same character the same.
Nope.
I don't know what to say other than I've never seen skill on a gaming level that has ever been matched in what the fighting games have offered to me ever, and even more now prevalent in what I saw at EVO.
And if you guys want to see examples of some of what we're explaining here, there's a lot of great clips on YouTube. Game Trailers has got Sure You Can, and our own host here wrote in a pretty amazing blog about his experience at EVO and included some of his own clips. So head on over to IGN.com. Holy, am I ever plugging stuff today.
But a little background story. I don't know if you haven't checked it out. I don't know. I'm featured in my IGN a lot. I'm pretty active. I reach out. I've been fortunate enough to network with Mark Ryan at IGN and kept up with a active diatribe with him. Awesome guy. I say that with no kiss-assness, but he doesn't need to talk to me, but he does.
Yeah.
Answers my question, accepting of who I am, and I just took the leap, man. I felt it out. I've always wanted to go to the tournament. But anyone that listens to these knows I want to work for IGN. Yep. I want to work in the gaming industry, but IGN specifically. It seems to suit my personality palette. who I am, what I want to say, and how I want to get it out there. So I've been trying left and right and bending over backwards trying to do this.
And he really has been. It's been pretty fun to watch, but I admire...
It's not easy. It's well, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, but I wanted to say that I really, from my perspective, really admire the effort that you've been putting into this.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, Donovan.
Yeah.
It's tough without a good support group to do something like this that seems unrealistic for a lot of people. A lot of people think this can be something attainable, and I think more and more with the way the internet is, it is. But when I was growing up, this was not an attainable dream.
No.
This is not something that happened
for
a Canadian kid.
Yeah.
That's... it's just not something that happened.
IGN, they're out on the West Coast.
Everything's on the West Coast.
We're more or less considered East Coast, almost. I mean, we're kind of in the middle, but when you go south from us is New York. That's East Coast.
Yeah. But anyway, I mean, I just reached out. He was rather welcoming. Seemed to be receiving of my request of wanting to help them, because I wasn't going out there by myself. And I wasn't going out there without being able to do what I wanted to do. I wanted to go out there with a purpose.
Right.
A reason for being there.
When you said that you were corresponding with both him and Destin beforehand...
Not Destin beforehand.
No?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Not till I've never met or talked to Destin beforehand.
Until you got there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But even still, like, you were corresponding through Twitter?
Mark Ryan, awesome guy. We've hit it off relatively well.
Now, how did you approach that? I mean, you already had a bit of a rapport with the guy anyway.
Well, I mean,
right?
you can read my blog on my IGN, Tech Canadian, TEH Canadian under there. I was featured on the main page for my recap blog. I'm very honored for that, actually.
It's actually the second time you've been on the
second
page?
time, yeah. Awesome.
Yep.
And it's helped me grow as a writer, and learning and doing what I want to do. But
well, your blogs are very matter of fact.
Thank you. That's who I am.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't expect to be.
And I think anybody that's writing blogs should be basically of that kind of.
Well,
thing.
you gotta be impartial sometimes, but I'm not getting paid, so I'm not being paid to be impartial yet. No. I am who I am.
Yep.
I will speak who I am.
Well, I mean, and I've always said, the more honest you are with your readers and with the way you approach things, the people are going to read that into it, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But they were accepting. I booked it the day before.
Yeah,
it's a big step. I don't know, but nothing comes to someone that sits on their ass and doesn't do anything. I want to make this happen. I've always wanted to go. I got there and it was awesome. I got to meet the guys. They already had an idea of what they wanted me to do and how I was going to be involved.
Right.
And I respected that a lot because I was nervous. I don't get nervous for anything, and that's not to sound like a big man, but I really don't. I've been on a lot of job interviews. I don't get nervous.
Yeah.
But I wanted this so bad, and I still do want it so bad, that you have so many thoughts running in your head. You went to another country, to another coast to try to do this, and you don't really know these people.
Right.
You want to make this happen. I'm confident in who I am and how I can make it happen, but you never know.
Yeah.
These guys might not like me. I may not like them. You don't know.
Yeah, you might just have one of those personality conflicts.
Yeah, you don't know. And I want to do this so bad, I might have to sit on my ass, but thankfully it was nothing like that. These guys were awesome, but very to the point too. They were focused. And honestly, Vegas is supposed to be a lot of fun. This whole thing could have been in Tennessee. It doesn't matter. Like I experienced none of Vegas. It was basically I was working with not getting paid, but I got paid with information, experience, learning on the job, learning what it took to be a part of the gaming journalism, so to speak. I know a lot of the people that work in the industry hate that term, but I don't really know how else to refer to it. But watching Destin work, I have massive amounts of respect for him. He hit the ground running on Saturday, capturing videos, interview, Injustice, Gods Among Us, the new DC game. The new 2 characters for PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, Heihachi and Toro, which is the PlayStation mascot in Japan.
Right.
The new Marvel Origins game coming out. He edited. Everything was on the fly. Get it up. Get it first. Get people talking about it.
Right.
Get people talking about IGN. Get people talking about Destin. And I respected that.
Well, I mean, like, I've been watching Destin for about 3 years now, from when he was on.
Yeah, you knew who he was before I did.
He did Hard News on Screw Attack for a long time, and, when he moved on to he had a brief period between when he started on IGN and he had his own website going for a little while.
Yeah,
and then,
we talked about that. Yeah,
the Daily DL, and I was going to that too. But yeah, ever since he's been on IGN, I mean, I got mad respect for the guy because
I'm just telling you, he works hard.
Yeah, I mean, he used to do the. He had like a weapon vault. What did he call it? He did a show that was actually affiliated with IGN, but it was on Screw Attack, and he just talked about like, you know, a really cool weapon in a game that he was going to add into this vault kind of thing. So all these little things, and he had Hard News, he had this side program he was doing on IGN, and then I think he was still running his own website at the same time as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, mad props to Destin.
Yeah, mad props, and I experienced it firsthand. In terms of Evo, I tried to balance. Like, you gotta understand where I was coming from. Not only did I want to learn and take everything in and do well for myself, but I also tried to enjoy myself.
Well, you wanted to
experience, but in turn, through learning, I got to experience Evo in ways that I don't think some people may never experience. I got some of the best seats in the house. I got access to certain people.
Well, you got to meet, you know.
Well, I mean, I guess you could meet them throughout the crowd for sure. I mean, talking to them, but I got to spend, you know, I had a little bit of conversation with guys like Seth Killian, James Chen. Props to James Chen. He retweeted my blog on Twitter. I really respect that.
Yeah, and again, I want to mention Shoryuken.com during part of this too, because they have almost everything to do with Evo.
Well, they're the ones that have kept up my love of fighting games. Yeah. I've bought Evo DVDs